Thanksgiving in Canada has always meant warmth to me. Not just the warmth of roasted turkey and gravy, but the warmth of family, laughter echoing through the house, plates passed from hand to hand, stories retold for the 100th time. I was raised to believe that no matter how far children go in life, they never forget where they come from. I was wrong. My name is Margaret Collins. I am 68 years old, and until last Thanksgiving, I believed my son, Daniel Collins, was still the boy who used to hold my hand crossing snowy streets in Toronto. Daniel had done well for himself, very well. He was now a respected corporate lawyer in Vancouver, married to a woman named Elaine, who came from a family that spoke fluently in status, money, and appearances. They lived in a glass-walled home overlooking the water, a place that felt more like a hotel than a house. When Daniel invited me for Thanksgiving dinner, I felt a flicker of hope. We hadn't been close in recent years, not since his father passed away, and I decided to keep living modestly instead of upgrading my lifestyle, as Daniel liked to say. Still, I baked my famous pumpkin pie the night before my flight. The same recipe Daniel used to beg for as a child. The invitation that felt like a test. The invitation email was oddly formal. Dear Mom, Elaine and I would be honored if you could join us for Thanksgiving dinner. Event begins at 4 p.m. Seating will be assigned. Seating will be assigned. That line stayed with me. Still, I told myself I was overthinking. Daniel was busy, successful. People like that liked structure. When I arrived, the house was buzzing. Well-dressed guests filled the space. Business partners, Elaine's parents, investors, people whose laughter sounded practiced. I stood there holding my pie like a peace offering. Elaine greeted me with a polite smile that never reached her eyes. Oh, Margaret, you made something. That's nice. You can place it on the counter. No hug. No warmth. Daniel appeared moments later, distracted, checking his phone. Hey, Mom. Glad you made it. That was it. Table 13. As guests were guided to their seats, a young server approached me holding a card. Margaret Collins? She asked. Yes. Please follow me. She led me past a long, beautifully decorated dining table where Daniel sat at the head, laughing loudly with Elaine's father. Name cards were printed in elegant gold lettering. Then we reached a small table near the kitchen door. A single chair. A plain white card that read, Table 13, guest. I stared at it, thinking it must be a mistake. I believe I'm his mother, I said softly. The server looked uncomfortable. I'm sorry, ma'am. This is where you're assigned. I felt something crack inside me. Table 13. Not mom. Not family. Just guest. Public humiliation. As I sat down, I could hear whispers. Isn't that Daniel's mother? Oh, interesting seating choice. I watched as turkey was carved at the main table. Toasts were made. Daniel stood and gave a speech about gratitude, legacy, and success. Not once did he mention me. No acknowledgement. No gratitude. I sat alone, chewing food I could barely taste, my hands trembling. Then Elaine approached. Margaret, we hope you understand. This evening is curated. We didn't want to disrupt the dynamic. Disrupt. By existing. That was the moment something hardened inside me. The lawsuit. A week later, Daniel received legal papers. Claim. Emotional distress, reputational harm, and elder discrimination. Amount. $342,000. People thought I had lost my mind. Sue your own son. Yes. Because humiliation cuts deeper when it comes from blood. The lawsuit made headlines. Mother sues high-powered lawyer son over Thanksgiving seating. Daniel was furious. You embarrassed me, he shouted over the phone. You embarrassed yourself, I replied calmly. For the first time in years, he was forced to see me, not as an inconvenience but as a person. Courtroom truths. In court, every detail was laid bare. The seating chart, the title, guest, the testimony from guests who admitted it felt intentional. Elaine tried to defend it as event planning. The judge, a gray-haired woman with kind eyes, asked one simple question. Mr. Collins, where would you seat your mother if love, not image, were the priority? Daniel had no answer. The courtroom was silent. The unexpected outcome. I didn't win the full amount. The judge awarded $75,000 in damages. But that wasn't the real victory. The real victory came weeks later when Daniel showed up at my small apartment, no suit, no arrogance. Just my son. I didn't realize how far I'd drifted, he said, eyes red. I let success teach me the wrong lessons. I didn't hug him right away. Healing takes time. A different Thanksgiving. This year, Thanksgiving was at my place. The table was small. The food was simple. But when Daniel arrived, he brought no status, no pride. Just gratitude. He sat beside me, not as a host, not as a lawyer, but as my son, and for the first time in years, table 13 no longer mattered. Because respect, once lost, must be earned again. The end.